Here's a basic don't pass strategy using 6, 7, and 8, the most common rolled numbers. Welcome back, subscribers. Welcome to my new viewers. Let's go ahead and learn this game of craps together. Hey everyone, it's Mike. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm still running some strategies that take advantage of the don't pass or the don't come. And a few months back, I rolled this strategy called the 6, 7, 8 most commonly rolled numbers. And it uses a don't pass initial setup. So I wanted to play it, but as I started looking at it, it's very complicated. There are hop bets and lay bets that you place before the point is established just to protect your bet on the don't pass. And if you get through that, if you actually establish a number, you're going to lose the hop bet, and then you physically can remove your lay bet. So I'm like, that's okay, but it's a little complex, and I may not remember all of that when I'm at the casino. So I wanted to find a more simpler, very basic strategy that also is a 6, 7, 8 strategy. And why do we play 6, 7, 8? Because of course the 7 is the most commonly rolled number over a large sample size. The 6 and the 8 are the next largest numbers that are rolled. So if those are the most commonly rolled numbers, we want to get paid on the 6, the 7, and the 8. So let me go ahead and bring up today's strategy. It's a basic 6, 7, 8 strategy using the don't pass. Okay? So again, I explained all this hop betting and lay betting that we did before. I want to avoid that. I'm going to go to a more simpler strategy. And the simpler strategy is basically set up like this. I'm going to put $60 instead of $75 on the don't pass. I'm going to reduce it down to 60. The don't pass of 60. And then I would like to put 30 on the 6 and 8. Okay? Now, I want my bets always working. Okay? Because I want to win on a 7 out. If a 7 out comes now, it's a break even. But what I'm looking for here is I want to take one hit on the 6 and the 8, or the 8. I'll collect that, and then I'll pull those bets down. And then no matter what number becomes the point, I now win on a 7, and I lose on the point. And the 7 is the most common number rolled, so I'm favored to win. Okay? So first things first, we want to establish a point. And if the point is a 6 or an 8, we get paid and we establish the point. So let's go ahead and roll. Try to get a point. Okay, the point's an 8. Let me turn on turbo mode, make this a little faster. So the puck moves to the 8. I get paid on the 8 because my bets were working. So I'm going to pull these two bets down. Now, I am favored to roll a 7 before an 8. Not by much, but I am favored. Okay? So we're just going to roll this out until we either roll a 7 and I win, or an 8 and I lose. That's all we're going to do. It's very basic, very simple. There's a 7. Okay? So I win the don't pass. And then the puck moves off and I'm done with that shooter. Next shooter, I will set up $30 on the 6 and the 8, 60 in the don't pass. Puck is off. My bets are on and working. I want to establish a point. The point's a 3. Don't pass wins on 2 and 3. It loses on 7, 11. It's a push on a 12. So that's a bonus. I win $60. Let's go ahead and get a point. 7, I lose. That's the hole. That's what you're trying to avoid. If you look at that, 7-11 loses, and if your place bets are working, then they also lose on a 7. Okay? So that loses everything. So you got to avoid that. Let's go ahead and set up again. $30 in the don't pass. $30 on the 6 and 8. Bets are working. Puck is off. Let's roll. There's a 12. That's no help. Let's go ahead and get a point. Let's roll. There's a 6. The puck moves to the 6. I get paid on my 6 because my bets were turned on and working. I will now pull them down. And I'm just going to roll until I either get a 7 and I win, or I get a 6 and I lose. Now, it looks like I only got $30, or I should have put 60 on there, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and roll. There's an 8. There's a 10. There's a 4. Again, I'm just rolling this out. I want a 6 or a 7. A 6 is a loss. A 7 is a win. There's a 7, so I win. I don't win 60 because I only put 30 out there. So I screwed that up. So anyway, that shooter is done. Let's go ahead and get the next shooter. Let's put 60 in the don't pass. 30 on the 6 and 8. Okay. We're trying to avoid a 7 on the come out. It's a 4. So if you want to play all the hot bets and the lay bets to protect the 7 and the 11, you can do that. But this is just a basic strategy. So my puck moves to the 4. I'm now looking for one hit on the 6 or the 8. There's a 6. So I win $35 on the 6. I pull those bets down. Now I'm looking for a 7 before a 4. And I am heavily favored to hit a 7 before a 4. And there it is. Okay? So, very basic. Very simple to remember. It's got some holes that you need to avoid. But if you can avoid them, you can build yourself up a little bankroll here. So we're only at 15 rolls. Let's try a couple more rollers here. So let's go to another couple of shooters. So we've won on every shooter so far. Let's go ahead and start with the shooter 4. $60 in the don't pass. Let's put 30 on the 6 and 8. Those bets are working. Let's make sure those bets always stay on. Those bets are working. And we're coming out for a point. Okay, the point's an 8. So not only do I move the puck to the 8, I get paid on that 8, and I pull those down. Okay, now I'm either going to win on the 7 or I'm going to lose on an 8. And there's the 7. So far, it's working exactly the way it's supposed to. Obviously, I could have rolled the 8 and lost 60. But if you think about over a large period of rolls, the 7 will roll before the point. And that's the whole idea. This is not a strategy that you're just going to go in, play a few hands, and color up and go home. This is over time, this strategy should work. Okay? Let's go ahead and get our next shooter. We have 60 in the don't pass. We have 30 on the 6, 30 on the 8. Okay, the puck moves to the 5. The point is now a 5. Now I'm looking for a 6 or an 8 to roll first, and then I'll pull those down and then look for the 7. And there's the 6. So that wins 35. I now pull these down. Okay. If a 7 would have rolled, I would have lost that 60, but I would have won the 60 on the don't pass. So you're just trying to avoid the 7 on the come out roll. After the point, a 7's a break even until you hit the 6 or 8, and then you pull that down. Now your don't pass is favored. You're at a advantage to roll a 7 before a 5. And there's the 7. I wish I could roll a few more times, but let's go ahead and do one more shooter. Put 30 on the 6 and the 8. Okay, so right here is your vulnerability. If you roll a 7 right here, you lose 60, 90, 120. You lose 120. So we have to avoid the 7 here. Okay, there's the 10. Puck moves to the 10. Now, if we roll a 7 now, we win the 60 don't pass, but we lose the 30 on the 6 and the 30 on the 8. So it's a wash. But we don't lose. We don't win, but we don't lose. Okay? So you can't lose right now. You can break even, 0, or you can roll a 6 or an 8, collect that money, and then take these bets down. There's a 3. That's no help. There's a 12. There's a 9. Okay, let's think about this for a second. What if we rolled a 10? If we roll a 10, we lose the 60 and the don't pass, and the puck moves off. We would just reset. Well, there's a 6. That pays us 35. We pull those bets down. Now, a 7 we win, a 10 we lose. Which one is favored? The 7 is favored. So we are at a favorite. We are at an advantage to win this bet. Doesn't mean it's going to happen all the time, but we're over the long period of time, we will win this more than we lose it. Okay? There's an 8 that rolled twice. There's an 11. And there's the 7. Okay? So that's 30 rolls. We're up $480. We've almost doubled our money. The good news is this strategy worked exactly the way it should. That doesn't mean it will always do that. You could roll 7 outs on the come out. You could roll a 7 and lose your don't pass and your 2 place bets. You could establish a point and then roll a 7 and break even. Or you could roll the point and lose your 60. Okay? But again, over a long period of time, your 6s, your 7s, and your 8s are going to roll more often. And that's the idea behind this strategy. Okay? So give it a try. Let me know what you think. And I'm gonna play this a little bit longer, but I'm gonna stop the video here. But I think I'll continue this roll for a little bit, see how far I can take this up. Couple variations. If you're winning, if it looks like you're winning well, and the table's working out for you, you can always increase your bets. Okay. It's not a progression. It's not a ladder up, ladder down. But if it looks like the table's working the way you want it to, you can go ahead and go up to maybe a $90 don't pass and $45 on the 6 and 8. It's up to you. Just make sure your don't pass bet is twice as much as your place bets, so that if you do hit the 7 out before you hit a 6 or an 8, it's a break even. Okay? So that's going to do it for today's video. Again, over a long period of time, this one should work out pretty well. So leave me some comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. And I hope everyone's having a great day. As usual, thanks for watching.